Hey everyone, Jeff here, and welcome to our next installment in our Elder Scrolls Legends Let's Play series. In today's video, we are going to be diving into the Return to Clockwork City expansion. So, a little bit of background here for those of you who didn't see my other series. I started out playing the Forgotten Hero storyline on the recommendation of a few friends who, know my passion for strategy card games, and I liked it so much that I spent $20 on the Fall of the Dark Brotherhood, did a series for that as well, and I liked that so much that I decided it was definitely worth playing the third expansion, Return to Clockwork City. At the time of recording, the new Houses of Morrowind expansion has just dropped, so viewers of this series and Fall of the Dark Brotherhood included some of this as well are going to get to see the new 3 attribute decks versus the, I suppose, conventional 2 attribute decks that used to be the max. So I'm going to dive right in. We're going to play through the expansion, and I have teched up a few decks that I haven't debuted in this channel yet. Again, with the limited collection of cards I do have at my disposal, I went completely wild and used soul gems to create 2 legendary cards. So that is the extent of the card creation I've done so far, but we're going to do it. We're going to have a great time, and we're going to play a variety of different decks, again, assuming that we don't need to specifically build something to tech in a certain matchup. So let's get right to it, and let's play Return to Clockwork City. Alright, so this is nice that we have the same normal and master difficulties as we do in the Fall of the Dark Brotherhood quest line and expansion. Episode 1, The Lost Treasure. Let's play.
Just the partner I needed for my latest enterprise. I was recently approached by a mysterious man who's been hiring adventurers and treasure hunters from across Tamriel. He wanted me to find a bauble called Barrelzar's Mazed Band. Legend has it, this ring can transport you to the long-lost Clockwork City, workshop of the dead tinkerer god Sothasil. And now he thinks he's tracked it right here to the Rift. I turned him down. Didn't trust him. But there must be a fortune in that city. What do you say, you and I find that ring and steal it right from under the treasure hunters' noses? We could try following the other treasure hunters, or we could check with my old friends in the Thieves Guild. If anyone knows where to find something valuable, it'll be them.
Alright, I'm all about intel, so we'll probably do that. So just some thoughts before we actually continue into the matches. I like that they've continued the characters from the previous stories, and by continued the characters from the previous stories, I mean the narrative, Kellen and the Khajiit, obviously. That's neat, and I also like that there's a callback having Swims at Night debut this expansion because, of course, he made his first appearance in the Forgotten Hero storyline, and it's just nice that they're sort of building this into other expansions to kind of make you feel a little bit more invested versus just introducing new characters. Now, again, there's not a whole lot of development here other than I'm still a thief and we're going to try to steal something and get rich, but you can't expect too much, right? I just think that it's a nice touch building on, the previous characters and previous development. This looks like the Thieves' Den, right? That can't possibly be the Thieves' Den. I mean, hiding in plain sight would be a thing, right?
Swims at night. You've got nerve showing your face here. Think we forgot that cargo you lost? You're not really still mad about that? Mad's got nothing to do with it. This is just business.
We have a heist lane. Creatures in this lane have pilfer, gain 1 magicka. Okay. So, before we get into this first match, this is kind of a cool logo insignia for this expansion. I like that. I built, like I said, I teched up a bunch of decks that I've never actually played in any matches before. Everyone has seen me play the Control Mage deck. Also, again, I still have, just my starter decks and some of the things I've been tinkering around with. But what I'd really like to play at some point during this expansion is a Ram Scout deck I made, a Prophecy Battle Mage deck I made. I really love this Prophecy mechanic, and I figured if I could put a whole deck of it together, I wanted to see whether or not it was good or bad. I've never actually seen anyone do this in ranked play. It's probably because it's kind of gimmicky, like your opponents need to attack you in order to get value out of the prophecy mechanic. But I think it's probably really strong against the AI because they attack with reckless abandon, pretty much without giving a shit. Lalu Jank I had together because I have the Duke. I opened him in a pack, and so I was able to create these colors, and I actually have been playing this in PvP with relative success. This is the deck I use primarily to climb to rank 8 so far, and again, I've been playing this game for 2 weeks, so that doesn't seem terrible. Then I also have uncommons in Talvani and Tribunal houses, so I was able to actually put together decks in these colors as well. Then I have a Control Monk because I have a Nasi, I have Tazcat, I have Marak. Marak and Tazcat were the 2 legendaries that I created with my gems, and so the Control Monk, probably card for card, is one of the single strongest decks that I have. And then a mid-range warrior because I realized I had a lot of cards that just kind of curved out really great in those colors, and I attempted a mid-range sorcerer, and I just really couldn't make it happen with the cards that I had in those colors. I also tried a mid-range assassin, and that didn't go great either. I think I'm just a little bit weak in those colors for right now, but the mid-range warrior has quite a bit of reach because of red, and I actually took that to ranked play, and I think I'm 3 for 3 with that deck. It's not great, but it also kind of just puts pressure on curve and performs really consistently and really well. So just as sort of a recap of what I like to play through this expansion, this is what you're going to see. And I'm going to do extremely brief deck text, if I choose a deck for a match. So we want to play something that is going to put creatures out so that we can get the Pilfer ability to gain mana. And so I think probably we want to play mid-range warrior because this is going to put creatures out on curve every single turn. I call it a mid-range deck. It's kind of a little bit aggro. So we're just going to go through the tech here real fast, show my card choices, and I think that this is probably, out of the decks I have, the best bet for what we're trying to do in this match. So we have our card cycle. This card has been insane. Comes down as a prophecy if you get it as a prophecy, or just on turn 3, and you just transform it, and then all of a sudden you have a 4/3. Excellent. Dragontail Savior, great. Orc Clan Captain, great. Protector of the Innocent, great. Again, what you're trying to do is just, the mid-range strategy, and I don't really think anyone watching these videos at this point is brand new to this game, but if you are, the mid-range strategy is kind of curve out. Like, look at this curve, right? We just have a ton of turn 2 plays. If we have the ring, we can play them on turn 1. You basically never want to have a turn where you're not putting more pressure on the board and more value on the board. A Stormcloak Vanguard because it does have charge and it is a 2-for-1 charge. value. Again, this deck is running primarily red cards, Mighty Ally triggers almost all the time, 80% of the time. Reach, Prophecy, clears out a bunch of minions. Young Mammoth just seems really great. 3 for a 4/4 with Breakthrough, come on now. Ayla's Huntmate, again, draws a card. You're most likely going to be able to get your beast form triggers in this deck. Corrupted Shade, because I needed some other strength in the 4-drop spot. Garnag from Fall of the Dark Brotherhood. Rampaging Minotaur for Reach. Ulfric Zealot, because again, needed something to fill out the 4-drop spot. My card collection is weak. I don't necessarily think that this card is great, although if it goes unanswered, you put 5 power on the board for 4, which, doesn't suck. Underworld Vigilante for Reach, close out a game. Whiterun Protector, because a 6/6 on board on turn 5 is pretty great. Child of Foreseen, because I needed another card. And Triumphant Jarl, because more than likely, unless you're playing against another super aggro deck that just kind of beats you to the punch, you're going to be able to trigger Triumphant Jarl in a lot of matchups. I was able to get, in the 3 games I played so far, I was able to play Triumphant Jarl in 2 of them. When I had it in my hand, it triggered both times easily. And again, there's nothing worse for your opponent. They're hoping that you run out of resources playing a deck like this. Triumphant Jarl prevents that from happening. So, card choices. Haunting Spirit and Young Mammoth, I really think should be 3 ofs. That said, I only have 1 of each, so I'm only running 1 of each. And I don't love running singles in decks, but I think that they're just probably so good. Oops, I accidentally popped a Skaven Pyromancer by accident. I just think that they're so good that it's worth it for me to run them as 1-ofs. And I was able to play them both, surprisingly. And again, this coming down on turn 2, a 4/4 with Breakthrough, come on now. So, there's the tech. I don't think it's ideal. I don't think it's perfect by any means. I think it's what I have. And I think it's a great deck for this match. So, playing something new. And we have to fight Delvin, which I'm not crazy about. Yeah, okay, so this is what I'm talking about, right? This is just going to be, hopefully, an explosive start. We can just pilfer with him, hopefully, immediately. Skaven Pyromancer. What is he playing? He's obviously playing Khajiit, right? That's what he has to be playing. I don't think this is going to be good against that. This will be, for sure. Okay. Rampaging Minotaur. Sure. So we could get totally blown out by this because I'm sure that his deck is designed with the pilfer mechanic in mind. If we play this turn, getting the extra Magicka doesn't matter. So I think it's probably better to just play Protector of the Innocent and maybe try to force his creatures out of the lane with the bonus. And then next turn we can play... and the next turn we attack, we'll be at 3, right? So we'll attack, we'll go up to 4. We'll play this, we'll go down to 2, but then we'll go up to 3, and we could play something else for 3. We might just be able to make 2 plays next turn because of this lane effect. Well, that is a problem. That is a definite problem. Well, that whole beautiful plan that I had for our turn is now not such a beautiful plan. I'm not going to use Rapid Shot on this. If this was a 2-1, I would use Rapid Shot in an instant. This doesn't survive. Nothing survives. Do I just force him to make the move? I can't do that. I need to play something. This really put a wrench in what I was trying to do. How great is this card right now? I don't think we want to give up on the strategy of ramping into some better stuff. I really don't. Especially since most of his creatures are probably going to go here. Let's attack. Let's get this on board. And the reason I'm playing this is because it's the most mana efficient play. So we just want to be able to use our mana. It's tempting to rapid shot this and cycle now, just to draw deeper into our deck. What could he play? We could play something that's a 2/2, and then it would be able to trade into this. I guess I could hold this, and if he plays a 2/2, I have this plus this to handle it next turn. I mean, I would technically have this next turn anyway. Yeah, I want to get a card deeper into my deck. It may not be the right play, but we kind of don't have a great hand. Like, this isn't what we really want to be doing right now. And that is a good draw. So, okay, sure. So my thing is, why would you put this over there, right? So we got punished really hard there for our play. Really hard. Yeah, that's fine. We unfortunately don't have another play. Why would you put this here and not here? So, you know, losing in matches like this is rough because, wow. Alright, so this deck is not necessarily the deck that I thought it would be. How bad is this, right? Skaven Pyromancer kills both of these things. Oh my god, terrible. Well, I think it's the play. It enables us to trade into this thing next turn, although I don't love it. I just don't have, I mean, we could do this that immediately dies, like, at least this would stay alive. We could just put this here. We could trade this in and put Garnag there. We just put the 5/5 instead, wait on Garnag until we get to that point. Sure. Yep. Okay. 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 Not great. So how do we want to play this? We actually need to start controlling the board. We're supposed to be the aggressive deck, and we need to start doing the controlling, because this will get out of hand real fast. Next turn will be on 7. We don't want to take this trade, because we want to try to get more than one trade out of this. But we have not curved out very nicely, I will say that. I guess we could play Garnag, and then that kind of stops everything that they would be trying to do. It also prevents us from playing more than one thing next turn besides this and Skaven Pyromancer, but I think just preventing our opponent from playing anything at this point is probably more valuable. Yeah. We are taking a bunch of damage, though, so. Alright, I think we concede now. It just goes to show the difference between, like, the ideal game plan and what actually happened, right? Because we could do 7 and 5 is 12, 13. Yeah, I mean, I guess we just do this to put something else down. Doesn't kill anything. Oh. Now they have exact lethal. I don't think we actually have prophecies here. Oh, we do, but we didn't trigger any of them. Oh my god, so stupid. He could have played this first and then drawn 3 cards. Alright, so let's play this again. I actually think that this is a good deck for this match. Right. Okay. I do think that this is actually a really good deck for this. I think that our opponent... It's amazing how that one turn, the 3-3 with guard, basically wrecked our entire game. Let's see if we can curve out a little better this game. We drew a lot of our high end last game and barely any of our 2 or 3 drops early on. So, okay, 2, perfect. Get rid of everything that's not a... Okay, 2-2. This card is kind of dead in this match, it seems like. Alright, yeah, again, just totally destroying our game plan over here, right? We'll put that there. Right. Okay. That's fine. This actually could work. We could just charge into that. We could Skaven. I mean, when this attacks, I don't know that we're going to get too much more value out of Skaven Pyromancer. Delvin doesn't have a lot of stuff with 1 toughness. Or we just charge into it, clear it. Let him attack, that'll move. And then hope that there's not another guard here. Because next turn we can play a 5-5 somewhere, right? Get that out of the way. Alright. This is fine. I mean, probably he may have something huge to play, but this is fine. We're only taking 2 damage a turn. Okay. Now we can go nuts with value. We can go... We need to play this turn so that when we transform it next turn, we can attack with something huge. Right. Could have gotten in for an extra point of damage with Orc Clan Captain. Forgot about this effect. Still a little bit new with this style deck. So that was a bit of a misplay there. Sweet. We don't want that card moving back over here and guarding this lane. So this goes here. But I don't think... Like, maybe we do buff this. Because one way or the other, then it would kill one of these things. Yeah, I'm fine with that. Okay, yeah, sure. That's really, really, really bad. Like, so bad. Maybe the worst thing that we could see here is that card. So I could attack first, transform this. It becomes a 5. We could also beast form here. Let's kill this thing, right? Do we want to kill that? We could battle rage orc into this, kill that, clear out this whole lane. Then we would have power over here. We can maybe sort of abandon this lane if we just kill this. Then we'll have power over here. Nope, 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 nope. This stays alive, which is really nice. Okay, so let's start there. And now we can get up to 4 again. So if we attack with all 3, we can get up to 4. This will die to this. This will die to this. This will die to this. This will not. It would if we played it out now. Otherwise, we just play Stormcloak Battalion. God, this is tough. Do we want to just kill this? Because if we don't kill it now, well, one way or the other, it's going to take 2 creatures with it. God, so tough. 5, 6, 7. Do we have to give up this buff? I think we do. Okay, so we attack here, we attack there, give up having the buff here, we still have a creature. Or we make the super greedy play and just go face like crazy. Drop a 5/5 over here. Or we can go 2. We'll go up to 3, use the 4th one, play Ayla's Huntmate here, and then attack again. This would transform out of the range of this. We would draw another card. Let's make the careless greedy play, right?
Care to join me on the hunt?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's do this. Alright. Now this can trade here and still be alive, but then we can kill it with Skaven Pyromancer and just have a board still? Like 10, 11, 12 power on board with the potential to have a lot more. Okay, I like that line. That ruins what we're trying to do a bit. This is real life. Did it completely not save everything that we just did? The story component and everything? It did save that.
Swims at not. You're not mad. Got nothing to do with it. This.
Maybe we should play a Pilfer deck in this match. Once again, cards we cannot keep. Considering I have like mono 2-drops in this deck, you'd think that I would draw them with more regularity. Alright, so it's going to be Circle Initiate, pass. Next turn we play Orclan Captain, give it a buff. That's fine. Use your turn to do that. I mean, now we're just farther away from doing anything with this card, so that kind of sucks. But what are you going to do, right? Alright. We're not going to rapid shot our own creature again, and because, you know, we learned the hard way that that was the wrong way to do this. So we could go, if we play Battle Rage Orc, that's 3, 4, 5. This would transform. We attack for 1,000,000. Okay. Alright, now we're going to play Corrupted Shade. That's all right. So for everyone who stuck it out through the first couple games and then the game disconnected last game, hopefully that doesn't happen here. This is what this deck wants to be doing. Now I know that this lane effect helped us get there faster, but we have 5, 7, 10, 16 power on board. It's turn 4, and we have 4 from hand. So if he just passes turn back, we have lethal next turn on turn 5. This is exactly the point of this deck. I guess you could kind of call this an aggro deck. I'm calling it mid-range because I don't like aggro decks. I'm fundamentally against playing them. But, okay. Alright, sure. So, here's the thing. We need to clear this, but I don't want to lose a creature. I don't want to lose 3 points of attack to this. So I think we probably just rapid shot it out of the way and then get on with trying to win. Yeah. No, because this can attack into stuff better than these things can, so. Yep. We know that he is running prophecy, so these things need to be considered. What'd I say? Turn 5 kill. Okay, so, ladies and gentlemen, mid-range warrior. And this isn't even really the best build. Now, I know I kind of had a pretty shitty game 1. Game 2, I think we probably would have won had the platform not completely died on us, honestly. But, alright, and we get Clockwork City cards. Win 100 games. Wow, everyone just got to see me win my 100th game. And by everybody, I mean like the 4 people that will most likely see this video. Alright, Daring Heist, action. Draw 2 cards. Daring Heist can't be... Alright, hold on a second now. Draw 2 cards. They have my attention. Daring Heist can't be played unless a creature in each lane damaged your opponent this turn. Oh, I had such high hopes for this card. I saw those 3 words, draw 2 cards, and I went blind to the rest of this. Here's the thing. I like analyzing cards in a vacuum. So, for 3, drawing 2 cards is an incredibly powerful effect. So the end result of this card is extremely powerful. However, this is very, very, very conditional. And, you know, just in that last match, you saw how hard it was to sometimes damage our opponent. And then we would need to have creatures out in each lane, not have a guard, not have a shackle effect. This is one of those things that I would be so tempted to play it just because of the value, but it would have to go in, maybe like a token shell where you just vomit tokens out, and even if your opponent has a guard or something, you can like get through with 1 or 2 and then still, do the damage, draw the cards. I don't know, I probably spent a little bit too much time on this card, but it doesn't seem playable. My gut instinct is telling me it's not a playable card. Alright. So, sails through storms. So, we're not going to do that yet. We'll do whatever mission this is.
Give us the magic ring, or this might get ugly.
Please, no. You don't understand. I need it. You there, stranger. Please, help me.
Surplus lane. When you play a creature to this lane, reduce the cost of a random card in your hand by 1. So, again, mid-range warrior probably would also be a good fit for this this lane effect, just because we play so many creatures. But Prophecy Battle Mage may also be a really good deck to play because it has stuff that's low on the curve. The problem is, if we play a Prophecy on our opponent's turn, we're not getting the lane effect. I don't want to play the mid-range warrior deck 2 times in a row. Tribunal is basically just another, like, control deck. So that it would be bad. Like, the control deck is probably really bad in this matchup. Let's just refresh. Let me refresh my memory on what this is real fast. And again, as we go through this deck tech, let's remember that so we have Harpy, Conjurer, Thieves Guild Recruit, Warcrafter, a bunch of low plays ramping up into things like Lightning Bolt. There's a one of Sadras Agent because I only have one. One of Thorn Hiss Mage because I only have one, so my ramp package is strong. Yeah, I mean, our promo Loneth, because I spent the $20 to get the promo Loneth, and also because I didn't have the in-game Septim currency to do it. Now, here's something interesting. For those of you watching this video, the only reason this card is in here is because it is the only card I have in the Telvanni class that allows me to play all 3 of these colors in the same deck. So let's play this out in this match. Why not? This is like basically a beautiful curve. For those of you who play, you know, kind of like control decks. I think that ultimately this does play as a control deck. Our high end is really powerful. On Kano, Eclipse Baroness, Loneth, Tazcat, my unupgraded Volkihar Lord, and Expert Atromancer. And so you have your usual blue-green value is what I want to call it. Firebolt, Harpy, Thieves Guild Recruit, Wardcrafter, Windkeep Spellsword, and then, you know, you get into your mid-game value. This is basically just Telvanni value because I just took 75 pretty good value cards in these colors and put them together. Your Brotherhood Slayer, great card. Dark Guardian, which I haven't actually really had the chance to play with, so I'm excited to get some action off of this. Revealing the Unseen, sort of as a fun card. I'm generally against RNG in games, as anyone would know who's seen any of my other videos. But the art on this card is probably enough worth playing just by itself. I may have also mentioned that a million other times before. So we're going to reveal the Unseen, have some fun with that. Lucian, other friendly creatures have Slay +2/+2. Again, I don't know that this belongs, but it's a good value 4-drop, so we're playing it. Ditto on Preserve the Root. Preserve of the Root just seems legitimately good. 4 for a 6/6 with Guard, because I'm sure you don't play that unless you're meeting that condition. We need some removal. We have our Snake for that. We need some reach. We have Cliff Racer. Leaf Lurker's more removal, and this art just seems too good to pass up. I picked up a second Shadowfin Priest from somewhere, a pack or something. I don't know. Insane card. Played it. Love it. 2 of these, so they're there. Cicero, again, just good value if it stays alive, even if we have to kill one of our own creatures. I sacrifice a shit out of any of these creatures to draw 2 cards. Come on now. Conjuration Scholar, because we needed a 6. Quinroll Brawler, because we needed a 6. Goldbrand and Orb, because they seem to just be permanent fixtures in my control decks. I need powerful cards. These are essentially both 3-for-1s. Ankano, insane. Eclipse Baroness, insane. This is here so I can play the deck. Loneth, never played. Awesome art. Let's see how she performs. That's what he said. Tazcad, one of the legendaries that I created. This has been used against me to close out like 4 or 5 of my losses. So I realized that I have a couple decks in yellow. The Control Monk, this deck, my other Lalu Junk deck. I was just like, how could I pass up having a card that provides such tremendous late game value? So I made one. And then, of course, these 2. We're going to roll. I only played with this deck maybe once ever. So I don't know how to really play it to its full potential. But we have a really great curve in terms of just having value in the, 2 through 4 drop spot. So we probably want to mulligan anything that's not a 2 or 3 drop. Yeah, I don't even think we want these. I think we might just take the risk running everything back to try to get early game plays. Actually, what is this? I'm going into this without the full information. At the end of each player's turn, if they have no cards in hand, they draw 3 cards. Well, I didn't know that this was going to be a support option because I'm always going to have cards in my hand. I'm playing basically a control deck. So I redrew this Varanus Courier, and I have a sure, a hypothesis about this. Oh, good. Oh my god. Oh my god, the value is real. So first of all, our opponent didn't get full value off of Daggers in the Dark because they don't have a creature in each lane. Second of all, they equip Steel Dagger by default, using a ring charge to do so. Now this is something that a human opponent would never do. A human opponent would never have played Daggers in the Dark. A human opponent would never have played Steel Dagger. But since we're not playing, here's our one of Divaith's experiments, which allows us to play this deck. Cool art too, cool art. But since we're playing an AI player, we get to get so much value off of what our opponent just did. Although maybe they're just trying to empty their hand to draw 3 more cards. Let's Firebolt the shit out of that and plunder. Okay, cool. Alright, I dig it. We're going to roll with Varanus Courier over here. Reduce the cost of a card in our hand. The one that we're not even intending to play. I mean, summon a copy of a friendly creature actually is incredibly good. Like, let's take a second out of the game, because again, we're not playing a human opponent. We have all the time in the world. Imagine we play Eclipse Baroness, right, on 8. And it survives. And then next turn, we play this. So we summon a copy of this, so we draw another card and reduce it by 2. And then we can betray, so we can sacrifice this to draw a card and reduce it by 2, to summon another Eclipse Baroness to draw a card and reduce it by 2. I'm in awe at the possibilities. If we can pull that off this game, that would be incredible. I might pay to promote this gameplay video just so that people can see that combination of things. Sure. Okay, so this is Daedric Crescent +2/+2, and when this creature slays, it gets +1/+1. That's fine. I'm not necessarily interested in competing with that right now. We can potentially just Shadow Fin Priest that next turn, and then it becomes 2/1 again, which would be a complete non-threat. We'll just play this out over here. Oh, we're doing it. Next turn we could just play this.
If it wasn't valuable, they wouldn't lock it up.
Alright. That's fine. I honestly do think we probably just Shadow Fin Priest this creature. I mean, 2 things would drop off. We would take 5 next turn, but then the turn after that we could Conjuration Scholar over here.
You waste my breath.
You must be cleansed.
I mean, next turn we've got Thieves Guild Recruit and Conjuration Scholar. Could we be happier about these things? I don't think so. Alright, loading it up again. Actually, you know what? I'm really happy that our opponent took that trade. It prevents how many points of face damage? Alright. Our opponent's down to 1 card. Alright. Loneth, here we go. 3 more turns. Let's do it. So I suppose we play this first, right? Actually, we don't want to play this first, and here's why. Because if we play this first and we accidentally discount this to a 4, then we just totally lose value on discounting another card. Because we're going to play this turn anyway, whether it costs 5 or whether it costs 4. So normally we would play Thieves Guild Recruit first, you know, almost all of the time to draw first and get information about our turn. But in this case, we don't want the discount to go here. So we will play that out first and then play Thieves Guild Recruit over here. And that got the discount. Okay, so if our opponent does some other shenanigans with huge guards or something, we have answers. Let's poke for 2, which we probably should have done first. My attack and card play order is always wrong. That's really good for our opponent. That's very good for our opponent.
Well, what have we here?
And the treasure hunt mechanic gave this item 1/1. But I think we kind of want to take this trade. Like, we could use Territorial Viper, but I don't necessarily think that that's right. We most likely want to take all these trades just to prevent this from doing anything. And so, probably draw first? Guys, this is the hand. Like, I wish I was playing against a human opponent, because what are the odds of them winning this game? 0%. Like, if you have 3 Eclipse Baroness in hand plus this card, you just win, right? That's how that works. Sure. Let's draw another card. Yeah. The value is real. Maybe we keep this alive over here, actually, and we'll just Territorial Viper into it, like I first said. Just keep some protection in this lane. We don't want to give our opponent another card just yet. Want to see if... Okay. Sure. And then did not equip anything. Very interesting. Very interesting. We have 8 cards in our hand, so we can cycle Eclipse Baroness first. Maybe we just kill this. Let's draw first. Oh, we're doing it. We have some RNG fun. Let's just take this trade. I know that our opponent gets the weapon, but if they don't have a creature to put it on, they might just have an item full of... a handful of items and no way to actually... We'll give our opponent 1 card here, because I think we're just so ahead at this point that it's probably fine. Yeah. And now I honestly think, what is it, 9? Okay, I honestly think we probably just start punching a bit at this point. I would Loneth, but I don't know what to Loneth for. Like, what do we get? Maybe Ankano, just to close out the game. Tazcat? Oh, yeah, we'll Loneth, and then we will get to play Tazcat. Let's do it. Oh, yeah. All right. Cool. For anyone watching this game, we are wrecking. And like I said, I only ever played this deck once before, but man, we are having a great time. Tazcat, let's do it. All right. And that was the one that got discounted because we put her there? Sure. So we get even Revealing the Unseen next turn for shits and giggles. Oh, okay. We are gonna try to take it home with Tazcat. Again, this is what I call getting cute. If I was playing against a human opponent, I would attack for 5, I would attack for 6, I would try to win the game. That is exactly the plays that I would make in the order I would make them in. I wouldn't play more Eclipse Baroness necessarily. Usually you would want to draw first, but again, against a human opponent, if you have the opportunity to win the game, I say win the game. That being said, this was just so OP. we're going to close it out with Tazcat. And we could even start to chain off Divaith's experiments and wait another turn and just kind of have some explosive fun with it. You know what? Let's just do it, right? Let's just have a blast with it. We'll attack for 5. We won't attack with any... Oh, see? And now, this is why you don't get cute. Immediately punished for our cuteness. Here we go. Sacrifice a creature. Oh my god. So we have a Shadow from Priest, discounted by 2. We're going to sacrifice this. We draw a card. We would be able to do it again. We would draw another card. So it was 1, 2, 3. 3 cards that turn. Now, I mean, there was no way for me to play everything out that I wasn't going to, like, mill myself cards, but that's not really the point. The point is that we actually got the combo off. We played Divaith's Experiments on Eclipse Baroness with Betray. Drew, 1, 2, 3 cards for 9 and discounted them by 2 each. I mean, what a riot. Come on, and Tazcat got discounted again. Oh, man. Oh, yeah, load that bad boy up. Alright. Cool. Alright, well, we're just going to do it now. I think we had enough fun with this match. What a game. I'm kind of tempted now to take this into ranked play. Like, is this good? Is this deck good? I don't know if it's good. I don't really have great cards. Some of these cards are really great, though. Like, Tazcat's great. Eclipse Baroness is great. This Sanctuary Pet is great. Windkeep Spellsword, great. So I think that there are just independently great cards in this deck. Should I take it to the ladder? I don't know. Sound off. Tazcat for the win. Awesome. Alright. And we won a game with a blue deck, which advances our daily quest there. We had some last gasp quest to complete as well, so that's what we have here. Relic Hunter. 2 for a 3/2 is not bad, honestly. I had the option to take this in my Battle Mage Arena playthrough, I think. It just looks familiar. Maybe it's because somebody else used it against me. I don't know. So Treasure Hunt item, give the item 1/1. I do have an item Battle Mage deck, which is definitely on the weak side. Like, it just doesn't have great cards in all the spots because I didn't really have cards to support the theme all that well. So I could definitely see running this in that deck, and I do have plenty of items in the deck plus a plunder, so it's definitely possible, I think, to trigger this in that shell. Other than that, though, I think you either need to put this in an item build or it probably just becomes obsolete as a card. Like, unless it's in that engine that helps this card perform, it probably is not playable. Ratway Prospector, 1 for a 1/2. Treasure Hunt, support item action +5/+5. After Ratway Prospector attacks, give her cover. Okay, so this is actually really cool because you get a 1/2 for 1, which again the stats are fine. I don't have a problem with the stats on either one of these cards for their casting cost, alright? That being said, you're probably not going to get support item end action before this dies. Like, if you play this card out at any point in the game, most likely your opponent will have a response. Because in the event that you randomly do get support item end action all from the same deck, having a 6/7 on board is a bit of a deal. And that will not be easy for your opponent to answer. So I feel like this probably gets executed or firebolted or electrolyzed or something as soon as it comes down. So is this playable? I don't think so. I think that these are a bit conditional. I could see this being playable in the right shell, and I could also see this being playable in arena, just because, again, for 2, you put 3/2 power on board, power and toughness on board, and that's a really solid 2-drop in arena. So if you don't have any other better options at the 2-drop spot,
Bless you. In truth, I don't even have that magic ring anymore. I lost it in the woods over yonder. If you find it, I beg you, please return it. It's precious to me.
so do we go look for the ring in the woods, or do we go try to get the Argonian chick? Let's try for the Argonian chick. Let's do them in order.
Hear me out. If we commit a brazen enough crime, the guards will take us right to sails through storms. And luckily, brazen is my specialty.
Commit 4 crimes to be arrested and jailed. Very cool. I don't know what that means, but we're going to do it. Oh, we use defeat the Riften Guard or complete a crime spree and get arrested. Okay, so I don't know exactly what that means, but obviously we're going to try to complete the crime spree here. And we need to figure out what that means. Wow, so this is really interesting. Hold on. Let's investigate these supports. Crime spree. Complete these tasks to win. Vandalism. Destroy a support or rune. Okay, so we have a card in our hand that will enable us to do that. Oh, or rune. So we just need to attack them and destroy a rune. Oh, but they're at 40, so we would need to do 15 damage for that to happen. Burglary. Steal a card. Oh, so cool. Assault. Wound a creature. Murder. Kill a chicken. And at the end of your turn, summon a 1/1 Imperial Grunt. Do we just keep this to kill that? This Dune Smuggler card, I've been impressed every single time I played it. Murkwater Shaman, somebody used this against me, and fuck that. I mean, and by fuck that, I mean, if this card goes unanswered, it just takes over control of the board. A curse every single turn? Come on now. This is not a good hand. This is not a good hand. It was a greedy keep on my part to keep this vicious drag. Murkwater Guide. Treasure hunt 0-cost card. Put a copy of the treasure into your hand. We have no plays, and this Ransack card seems really bad when it's not a prophecy. I hypothesized that for free, this card was good because you could do 3 damage to a creature. So if you just got it for free, you could do 3 damage, gain 3 health. But for 6, a 6-point damage swing was terrible. And here it is in our opening hand, and I don't want it. I almost kind of just want to, like, retry. But we're going to stick it out and see how we do. Alright. Yeah, we're going to take 1,000,000 damage. We are 2/2, sure. I mean, at least our opponent is not playing any, like, ridiculously powerful things. Oh, man, I wish I had a sweeper, right? So, we probably just... There's no way that there's sweepers in this deck, right? Like, none at all. Do we just play? Yeah, let's just play this. I mean, we have that has to be the play. When this moves, he gains +1/+1. Okay, cool. Oh my god. Guys, we're going to lose to Horned Helm. Prophecy. No. Steal all items from an enemy creature. We could steal a Horned Helm. Alright. 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 I guess we have to put this here. Destroy that. Oh, we did it. Destroy a supporter rune. We did wound a creature. We need to steal a card and kill a chicken. So I don't know how we steal a card. Does steal all items count as a card? Like, since it's in there... Like, Riften Lawkeeper owns Horned Helm. So if we play this and steal Horned Helm, does that mean that we have stolen a card, or does it need to be stolen from their hand? I don't know. One way or the other, we're probably going to make this play next turn and see if that's how that works. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, Goblin Skulk. We might die before we get a chance to actually pull this off. Yeah. We just have to play this and see what happens, right? It did count. So we need to kill a chicken. We can do that next turn. We can shadow shift this over now to try to kill this chicken, or we could try to catch our opponent off guard. Although I guess next turn we would have ransack to do it anyway. The thing is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, so we're not dead next turn on board. I was really worried that we were just going to be dead on board. Oh, Thieves Guild Shadowfoot. Steal the top card of the opponent's deck. Right. So that would be another way that we could have accomplished that goal. So next turn, all we need to do is kill this chicken. Unless our opponent has some crazy reach or something. Oh, no. We are so close to dying here. Yeah. Oh. We took so much damage this game and played so few cards that so we could kill the chicken any number of ways, right? We could ransack it, we could curse it, or we could attack. And should we just attack? Yeah, you were almost dead. I could definitely see a world where it would be possible to do lethal damage to him. I think we had just a really bad opening draw, which prevented us from getting on board fast. But keeping that that drag was probably a really smart idea. Oh, Riften Lawkeeper, 4/4 with breakthrough, and you gain 4 health. So, you know, this is one of those cards that I think is... Here's my 100% expert assessment of this card. I don't think it's constructed playable because in the 4-drop spot, especially in yellow, you've got better things to do. And by that, I mean Hive Defender, right? And I know I've compared a lot of cards to Hive Defender, but if you're in the same color and the same casting cost, you need to put the cards in a vacuum and you need to say, is this better or is that better? And if you have the option to have, you know, one of those two cards in your hand and actually play it, what would you rather have? I would rather have the 3/6 with guard over the 4/4 with breakthrough. And I get that you gain 4 health, that's fine. But again, I think that gaining health in games is a little bit of an overrated effect. And this card, yeah, you gain 4 health when it comes out, but if your opponent has a ton of pressure on board, they're probably just doing more than 4 back to you. Whereas Hive Defender, maybe you don't gain 4 health, but you probably also come out, like in the board state that you play Hive Defender, you probably just come out ahead of where you would be if you played this card. That analysis is now complete. And I will add as sort of a secondary thought that if I had the option to take this card in an arena match against the AI, who has no regard for your creatures whatsoever and just wants to attack your life total, I would probably take this because I think a 4/4 body is excellent and the effect of gaining 4 health is really great. So again, in arena, if I was given this choice along with a couple other 4-drops or 2 other like mediocre cards, I'd probably take this. It seems really good.
Curses, you've got us.
All right. So I'm going to split this video up into two, especially since the beginning of the video dragged on with the first match actually taking 3 separate games because the game just quit on me. And when we come back, we will try to find the ring in the forest, and then we will, I guess, go to prison. Never done it before. Could be fun. All right, everyone. Hope you enjoyed the first video, and again, me just playing some decks that I haven't actually really had the chance to experiment with or play before. Had a awesome time playing the 3 attribute deck. Went to Value Town like 7 different times in that match. It was great. Of course, if I tried to play that against a human opponent, it would probably never happen. But it kind of is. What's the word I'm looking for? Incentive for me to actually take it to PvP and give it a shot. So, thank you very much for watching. I will see you in the next video.